Friday night, some good news. A federal judge has warned several drug companies that they're going to have a hard time convincing a jury that 800% price hikes on diabetes drugs was necessary. Farron Cousin joins me to talk about this. We have done so many stories on the idea that the pharmaceutical industry is raping the American public, and it's amazing. It's amazing. When we do one of these stories, if we do a story, we hate Trump, there's going to be 200,000 people that show up for that. When we talk about something as important as this, there'll be 10, 15, 20,000 people. It's amazing that people aren't paying attention to this. Pick up the story.
I know this is crazy. And again, this is the result of a really good lawsuit where they're saying, hey, these two pharmaceutical companies basically colluded together to keep generics off the market for a couple more years. And in the course of the discovery here, they realized, well, hold up. Not only did you collude to keep generics off the market, you also kind of colluded to raise your prices by 800%, gouging consumers instead of, a couple dollars per pill to over $40 per pill. And the judge told him last week, said, you do realize you're going to have to go in front of a jury and you're going to have to explain to them why you did that. And that's not going to help your case.
I don't do this very often. I just cracked up when I read the defense lawyers for these companies. This guy is Lev, his name's Lev, L-E-I-V Blad. Okay, Lev Blad. He says, well, there's no antitrust taking place here, Judge. This is just good faith business dealing among friends. He said that. The other lawyer, another defense lawyer, says, Judge, we just raised the price 800% because we thought it was in the, he really said, I swear to God, we just raised it 800% because we thought it was in the shareholders' best interest. You think? So the point being, this judge showed some courage and said, you know what? We're going to let you make these arguments in front of a jury. Let's see what the jury thinks at the end of the day, right?
And that really is the best thing for the judge to do. Just sit there and say, listen, people are going to be paying attention to this case. And it's almost, taunting. I'm like, I want you to come out here and I want you to make that argument for everyone to hear, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, Lev Blad and David Marriott. I want to be there for this argument in front of a jury. I don't think it's going to float.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
As the state of California braces for more droughts, they've warned Nestle to stop stealing their water. Farron Cousins joins me again to talk about that. We've done this story. They are thieves.
Yep.
Nestle, they're thugs and thieves. First of all, they're operating without a license. They operated for years without even having a current license, and they're taking money in this state that is dying from dryness, right?
Right. And we all know, we've seen the wildfires in California over the last 10 years get worse and worse. And part of it is because the state is so dry due to climate change. But then you have this company come in, Nestle, that's been there for 100 years or more, sucking water out of the state, bottling it, selling it for a huge profit, overstaying their permit, overdrawing what their permit even said to begin with. Not only was it expired, but they were still doing more than the expired permit allowed. And here the California state is begging them, and they're not really enforcing it too hard, but they're begging them, you've got to stop.
Why beg it? Why go after them? Have the Attorney General do something that they have the right to do. Here's where it is. They're limited to 8 million gallons over a period of time. They're actually pumping 32 million.
Right.
So there's that. Plus, the problem is Sierra, the entire area of Sierra, they used to have about more than 50 inches of rain. These last couple of years, it's been less than 20 inches of rain. So these people, this is public commons is at risk here, the public commons of California, and they're letting these thugs just bully their way through. The Attorney General's doing nothing. Governor's doing nothing to stop this.
Well, and the water that they're sucking out is supposed to make its way downstate and feed these areas that are already, according to the governor, well, he's declared an emergency, a drought emergency in these areas that may not exist or may not be as bad if Nestle wasn't over there stealing all the water.
Yeah.
And again, you hit it. You and I have been talking about this story for many, many years now. And unfortunately, we're probably two of the only people still talking about this story.
Why won't regulators do? Why won't the governor and the Attorney General do what they're supposed to do? And that's their job. This is a big story. The drought's going to get worse, and Nestle's going to believe they can just push their way through here, Farron. Thank you for joining me, okay?
Thank you.